but I
Hi,
can see the
Yvette.
comment. Hey, Vet. So I
Okay.
guess as long as everybody can see both of us, that's fine.
Okay. We'll go with that. What are our topic? What do you want to start with? Why don't you go list all of our topics and then we'll go from there.
So our topics in no particular order, other than remembering how they came in. Robbie wants to talk bathrooms around the parks.
Okay.
Brooke asked about kid activities at the resorts. CW asked about the resorts nearest the 4 amusement parks. And I think it was Tina that asked about DVC. Blame
Well,
iOS
Robbie,
17.
we'll blame that. Mike hasn't done an update, probably. We're blaming it,
Hey,
we'll see.
as soon as my phone tells me it's time to update, I do it immediately. I
Me
don't like that
too.
thing stare at me.
Me too. I do not wait. I do not wait at all. All right, let me just share this in Discord and then we'll be on our way.
Okay, that sounds good. Hello, Tasha. Vet,
So,
you doing well tonight? So
um,
Robbie wants you to tell him all about the bathrooms around the parks.
oh my goodness. Okay. And again, Robbie, from I speak from the male or the female perspective. I do not speak on from the male perspective at all. And as much as Mike would like me to say, like, I know what a man's, bathroom looks like, the men's bathroom, I do not. I do not.
I don't think Mike ever thought or said that.
He never really said that. But, um, anyways, I can go off of. So I'm gonna start with Disney Springs, and I really think there are no good bathrooms there. They are all busy. They are all, just especially by the end of the night, they're just trashed. It's just too much for them to keep up with. Um, but with that being said, what park would we want to start in? Robbie, do you have a park preference?
So now, while he answers that, let me ask you this:
Okay.
Is Disney Springs maintained by Disney?
I mean, yeah, see, Robbie, yeah, that's one of the worst. That's one of the worst ones. I love how every live Ainsley comes and sends you roses, Mike. You're so lucky.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
lucky to be getting roses from Ainsley.
I just didn't
Um,
know if it would be the same ownership handling those restrooms as it is, say,
yeah,
inside the parks.
yes, I absolutely think that it is.
Okay.
It's no other. It's nothing different from, yeah, than anything else. So I just when I'm in Disney Springs, I will make it a point to like go into a restaurant. Like Boathouse has a really easily accessible bathroom from outside. Um, and the even if you try to go like tucked away, it's just I'm looking for clean. That's Hey Brandon, hey everybody, welcome in.
Thank you, Jeff.
So, Ainsley's texting me now. I guess she feels bad because I said something. Um, so I guess she doesn't. I don't know, Ainsley. I don't know if you're in here, but I don't know how somebody gifts to me or they give to Mike. I don't know how it works. But anyways, so we'll start at my least favorite park, and one of the reasons why I don't like this park is because of the bathrooms. There are public restrooms in Disney Suite maintained by their staff. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dustin. Yeah, she'll just have to pay attention. But
Regardless, Ainsley, I always have your back.
okay, so we'll start in Hollywood because it is my least favorite park, and bathrooms is one of the reasons why it is my least favorite. But I like when you come off the buses in the Skyliner, there is a bathroom out there, and it is always very nice. And I highly recommend, just, you know, you never know what can happen, one on the Skyliner or on a bus or anything like that. You know, always just go to the bathroom.
And I don't think that bathroom is overly used, which probably helps
No,
as well.
it's newer because of they put it out there from redoing the bus lots and stuff like that. My first inside the park bathroom would be over in the Cars land, over where Cars is, the show. So past Tower of Terror, past all of that, and you go, and it would be almost like you're coming out of the exit for the show. It says bathrooms. And the trick to this one is that there's two double doors. It looks like you're going inside the bathroom, but you can go in there. You just tap the little handicap thing and the doors will open. And there are the nicest bathrooms in there that no one really goes to. They are very unused. Generally, when I'm in there, I'm not with anyone else. Thank you so much, everybody.
And Janelle, that's by the Racing Academy, right?
By the way, yep. So yes. Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Thank you.
That's
So,
that's like if you're heading towards Rock and Roller Coaster, it's to the right of that, correct? You
yep,
keep going.
you have to kind of go back there. But so Robbie's saying all the bathrooms are small. Yes, in Hollywood. Okay, and I'm just gonna make sure that everybody can see me and Mike, right? We're still there. I know Mike can't see me for some reason, so I'm just making sure that it's the same for everybody, that you can see both of us. Hey, Kate. So Robbie, I highly recommend, you know, again, it's a walk back there, you know, and you're gonna pass two other sets of bathrooms to get back to these bathrooms, but I'm telling you, if you are just a mom and you need a quiet place or even just air condition, it's got a nice little area where you can go in there and sit and be inside, and you will not be bothered. And so that's my number one place to go to the restroom in Hollywood. Second would be at Pizza Rizzo. Complete other side of the park, but Pizza Rizzo is a quick service, and on the bottom when you're walking into the Muppets area, you have Gonzo's Royal Flush.
Kate, I think, are you asking if there are any rare characters
Of the park. Sometimes in Epcot, but so you have Gonzo's Royal Flush at the bottom. Skip it. Don't go there. Through upstairs in Pizza Rizzo, just take the stairs upstairs. The brick building, yes, Robbie. Head up the stairs. There's an outside set of stairs. If you take those stairs and go right up to the top, there are bathrooms up there. No one goes to them. And they're actually, you know, I'm sure they're right above the ones that are outside of Gonzo's Royal Flush. But no one ever goes to them. They're so nice. And again, hey, Megan, they would be my second ones. And after that, don't go to the bathroom in Hollywood.
So it's kind of aptly named that it's Gonzo's Flush.
Yes.
Talking about the bathroom.
Yes, I think they did that on perfect. Yeah, so Megan knows those bathrooms. I might have, you know, again, we try to keep them a secret, but I would rather people just use good bathrooms than, you know, all the other bathrooms in Hollywood are so busy. And that's just you know, again, with that comes the janitorial, custodial staff just trying to keep up with it. And it's very hard. I wouldn't want their jobs at all.
Yeah, Megan, she did mention the ones over at Lightning McQueen.
Yep. So those were, I only have two, Megan, unless I'm missing something in Hollywood. Again, outside of the building at Brown Derby, Um,
The restrooms over in Toy Story Land, I don't think were too bad.
they're okay. For the women's, there can tend to be a line, especially middle of the day. Yeah, so the Brown Derby, you can go through as you're going through the restaurant and just go to the left, and there's some really nice bathrooms in there. But again, people I think might be intimidated to go into a restaurant because if you don't have a reservation, you might not want to be in there. But there are separate doors for the going right into the bathroom, and you just wouldn't know that that's what those doors are for. So that's Hollywood. That's all I have. There's no other really great bathrooms there. Animal was kind of hard for me as well. I like, again, you're not going to go out to Rafiki's Planet Watch just to go to the bathroom, you know. Meow. Thank you,
Taking,
Destin.
taking the
Um,
train to go to the bathroom. I love it.
yeah, but if you make it out to Rafiki's, then go to the rest. Those restrooms are very nice. Again, hardly used. They're tucked away when you come out of the animation station or that building. There are very nice restrooms. And then the only other one I could really think of was outside of the Festival of Lion King. If you're facing the building, you would be going to the left. There's a little building out there, and those are all always fairly well taken care of. The rest of them, again, I'm going to say super busy. It'll be hit or miss on what you're dealing with.
Now, is it true that the restrooms at Rafiki's Planet, they do not let the goats in? Is that right?
They do not. They do not let. Oh, so Robbie was impressed with those too. Thanks for the backup, Robbie. Epcot again, another hard one for me. Just the snakes. My number one in Epcot would be over behind or next to Figment. You have to kind of go to where Pooh Bear is, and you have to walk all the way around. But tucked back there is a very nice set of restrooms. The American Pavilion has there's just so many stalls in there, and that's what I like about that. It's so big, and there's not ever a line, and it's just not jam packed with people. And then in the Odyssey building, which is right now where they have the pickle milkshake, and I like any opportunity to bring that up. So if you're in there getting the pickle milkshake or anything pickle, inside that building, it's the white building with the black trim, right kind of in the middle of Epcot. Yeah, go to those restrooms.
They have a restroom there because of the reaction people have from drinking a pickle shake.
No. Okay.
Hey, Caitlin.
Magic Kingdom. I have my morning restrooms and I have some afternoon restrooms. I know, because Magic Kingdom in the morning everybody's rushing to the back of the park and everything, and I just know when you come into the back in the morning, up front next to City Hall on the left hand side next to the fire station, virtually no one in there. Same with the ones around at Casey's Corner. If you walk around like you're going to First Aid, no one goes to those because everybody is on Main Street. They're not visible, and they're out of sight, out of mind. No one goes to them in the morning. You would have the place to yourself if you need to go in there. Afternoon, and this is when it's crowded. You don't want to go to Casey's. There's going to be a line. Everybody's having lunch, all of that. The bathrooms over by Splash Mountain, gonna be Tiana's. Those are very nice, and right now they're very unused, but they are open. And all you have to do is walk back there and go, your way back there, and those bathrooms are very nice.
Now, do you remember before Splash closed, were those bathrooms heavily used, or do you still think they were pretty empty?
I think that they were heavily used. Especially on the exit of the ride and people coming to dry off or do whatever. However, right now they're quite lovely,
Yeah.
so
So the point there is enjoy the next year of
yeah.
those bathrooms because once the ride opens up, they'll be busy again.
And again, I would say that that is another area that if you need a quiet space to go right now, there are benches back there. It's shaded and you can just really go and, probably make a phone call or, something like that, and just kind of relax back there. Um, so Splash, again, I have two that are quick services that I would rather walk into the quick service. One of them being Pecos Bills, very busy, but there's no real other restaurant or bathrooms around that area except for going over to Splash or going back over to Pirates. So if you're in that area from, Haunted all the way over, like Pecos is all you have aside from going over by Splash.
And I know I've talked about this before. I don't remember if it was with you, but Disney intentionally did not put any bathrooms in Liberty Square because they wanted it to truly replicate the 1800s that it's supposed to be themed after.
Right. Yep. And so I think we all know, and yeah, there's no bathrooms there. So Pecos would be my next one. And then Columbia Harbor House, that upstairs, if you take the stairs up there, if you're just looking for a quiet place midday with air condition, Columbia Harbor House is where you should go. And that could be a whole nother discussion, is quiet places during the middle of the day. And Columbia Harbor House upstairs, a lot of people don't climb the stairs. They don't go up there. And it is huge. It is a very nice, huge, space. Yvette says, I'm frozen. I don't know, Yvette, if I'm frozen, so we'll see if anybody else is having problems. And then I have the Storybook Circus area, which again is a very nice bathroom. It's big back there, going to the train station, going to on Dumbo or anything like that. Again, it's way back there, but if you're back there, I would pick that over something else. And then the very nice brand new restaurant or restrooms that they built at Tron. So
I always see people commenting on how great the bathrooms are at the Rapunzel area.
So yes, and I see that as well. And I think it's a very nicely decorated area. However, super busy, super used. And that's, I'm trying to give, like, again, quiet, clean, where can you go and get away and just not either one, be waiting in a line or, waiting for a sink to wash your hands, all of that. And that the places that I have named, would almost guarantee, unless it's spring break or, July, you're going to be virtually the only one in these bathrooms at these certain times. So, Tron, it's new. They put a lot of bathrooms in there, and so they're heavily used. However, they're just still nice, and, they're not,
And then they still have the bathrooms kind of like back around, kind of past Space Mountain behind Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
And those that's another one that I always felt like were rarely used. People didn't know they were back there.
I agree. Again, they're hidden back there. But it just, again, I think that's another one, depends on the time of the day that, you can, I don't think I've ever waited on a line in a line, maybe like once or twice, but for the most part, I would say this too about like I went into the Tangled bathrooms the other day and no one goes to the second row. They all get stuck. Like they don't know that we have a whole nother section over there to go to the restroom. And I always go over there and I'm like, no one's ever over there, So don't get stuck. And I think that's how the Space Mountain bathrooms are too. We all get stuck on this one side and then you don't go around the walkway to realize, oh, whole other set of stalls over there. So, yeah.
So there you have it, Robbie.
Yeah, I think that how did I do, Robbie? And like I said, you're welcome. Let's flush this topic next.
That's a good way to put that, Robbie. Way to wrap that up. So is Kate still on? She asked us about rare characters. If she was still on, I thought we'd hit that real fast. But I don't know if she stayed with us or not. I did scribble it down, rare characters.
So the only rare characters that I do know about are, again, if there's a character surprise, character palooza, as some people like to call it, again, random character surprise when they are testing or they're not testing. They are what are they doing? Practicing for the characters, and so they open up a little section. And right now, they used to do it over the American Pavilion, and now they are doing it in between Canada and the UK, and that is where they do it. And it's usually either around 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock, somewhere in those times, but it is completely random. So
don't plan your bathroom trips at 11 or 3 if you're at Epcot. You're going to miss out on the rare characters.
no. And there's bathrooms back there where they do that too, but they're sometimes not open.
And so I know he's probably not considered a rare anymore, but I think Max being available at Hollywood Studios is a fairly new character coming out. So I still consider him to be rare.
I agree, and I think I can remember going to the Halloween party last year, and Max was there, and I don't think I'd ever really seen Max before, and now he's out you just walk up to him fairly easily at Hollywood Studios.
Justin, I believe Elvis Stitch is only available on the Halloween party nights.
Correct. Yep, and he is there, and he is over where the Stitch ride was.
Mm-hmm.
He's right in that area. So, and he will form a very long line.
For the Halloween party, correct?
Yes, yeah, for the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Something that I saw the other day, and I have video on it, and I need to put it together. I had not ever seen them before. I had gotten off the People Mover, and you know where Buzz Lightyear is now? We're in between Buzz, Space Ranger, and the Carousel of Progress. They're the little Buzz thing. Well, they had Chip and Dale over there now. They moved them from Storybook over here, and they're wearing space outfits. So
I feel like I've seen that before, and so then it makes me wonder if this is just because of the Halloween season that they're doing that with them.
I don't know, but yeah, they're wearing costumes.
Hopefully, they're not covering their noses so you can still tell who's who.
Right. Yeah. No, they're wearing name badges now. It says Chip and Dale, on their astronaut suit.
Very nice. Very nice. But back to Stitch and Destin's question. You mentioned the long line at the Halloween party for him. Outside of the Halloween parties, there technically isn't a meet and greet for Stitch, right? He's up on that stage, kind of, available for people. He might be walking around Tomorrowland, but there's no lines forming for photos and autographs and things like that, correct?
Correct. He is a roaming character and will generally not stop. Generally. I'm trying to. I don't know when I saw the Chippendale. As you like, Chippendale. There you go. There's the smile. But anyways, they're wearing like astronaut or space costumes now, and they over in Tomorrowland.
Thank God they're not wearing their Chippendales.
Right, right.
When I look through photo books from when our kids were little, it makes me happy that we got to see the characters we saw then. It makes me sad that we don't see them today.
Right.
I mean, I'm just going off the top of my head. I remember Pocahontas was available at Animal Kingdom. Jiminy Cricket was available there. Those two came to my mind immediately. I'm sure there's others, but what's the new Encanto Lady Gabriel?
Mirabelle.
Yeah, Mirabelle.
Yeah, yeah. Mirabelle is in Magic Kingdom, where Merida used to be.
And is Merida anywhere now?
Merida is over in right behind the Christmas store where Santa is.
Okay. Wait a minute. Where Santa is? There's a Santa?
Yeah, like Santa has a meet and greet in November in Magic Kingdom.
I was thinking like right today, right now. I'm like, you got to be
No, sorry. No, I'm talking about like if you know where Santa does his meet and greet in the gazebo, that is where Mirabelle is.
I got you. I'm not as up to date on Christmas like you are.
Okay. Yes, and Bruno is now in the Adventure Friends Cavalcade. Yes. Yep. So
Kate,
okay.
I don't know if Kate's still with us or not, but
yeah,
a little bit about
Kate is a she's a cast member in Disneyland and she's a character attendant.
Very nice. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. So whenever she pops in the live, I'll ask her like, who are you with today? So.
Okay. Next topic.
Yep.
So I see CW's on, so we'll go to his topic. He'd asked about the resorts around the parks themselves. And so I scribbled some down and we could talk through them. And then, if I missed anything, you can fill in where I missed. I think the easiest to do is Magic Kingdom. And the resorts that are closest to the park, the Contemporary, that one I think is just synonymous to me with Magic Kingdom because you've got the monorail that goes right through it. And it's also an easy walk over to the park from there. Right. Kind of next to the Contemporary would be Wilderness Lodge and then Fort Wilderness, the campground and the cabins. You go to the other side of Seven Seas Lagoon and you've got the Polynesian Resort. And then the other resort that I think is also synonymous with Magic Kingdom, that's the Grand Floridian. So those are all of the resorts closest to the Magic Kingdom. And interestingly enough, outside of the Fort Wilderness campgrounds, the other four are all what are considered deluxe resorts. So those are the higher priced resorts on property. And I think you're paying for the convenience. Hey, Jessica. You're paying for the convenience of being that close to the Magic Kingdom where you could essentially be inside the park within about 5, maybe 10 minutes of leaving your resort.
Right. So would
Bay Lake would count, but Bay Lake is a DVC property. So unless you're renting DVC points or you have a membership or you're going with somebody who's DVC, it's rare that you're getting in there. Hey, Quentin. All right. Did I miss any that you would mention with Magic Kingdom?
No.
Okay. So we'll go to Epcot next. So the resorts that are physically the closest to Epcot would be the Yacht Club, the Beach Club, and Boardwalk. Those are all within walking distance. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Kep. Those are all within walking distance of Epcot. And then you also have the Riviera, the Caribbean Beach Resort, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. Those are all on the Skyliner route that would get you to the back of Epcot. And I should point that out. All of those resorts, you're entering Epcot from the back of the park through the International Gateway, which gets you in right next to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Hey, Tina, how are you? We have not, Tina, we have not talked DVC yet. I see that you're here. We'll do your topic next. Anything that I missed on Epcot, Janelle, that you would add?
No, not unless did you say Swan, Dolphin, Swan Reserve? Or
I had those written down for Hollywood Studios. I didn't write them down on the Epcot list.
okay,
So
I
yeah.
mean, are they? Hey, Darren.
I mean, you can get to Epcot from them with the boat,
Right.
but it's not as close. They're closer to Hollywood Studios than
They are. They are. But again, technically, I think you have access to them.
Darren, I absolutely agree with you. It's probably been, good Lord, at least 5 years since the last time I came in Epcot from the front entrance of the park. Janelle probably gets tired of me saying this. I love that Skyliner. So coming in from the International Gateway is a great way to enter the park, especially if you're rope dropping. You get in pretty quickly back there. So the resorts with Epcot, Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk, those are all deluxe resorts. Again, the highest price. The Riviera is also a deluxe resort. Caribbean Beach Resort is a moderate, so the price range there is less than the deluxes. And then Pop Century and Art of Animation, those are value resorts, so those would be on the lower end cost per night for a resort room stay on property. All right, Hollywood Studios is next, and there's a longer list. Well, technically longer. Swan and Dolphin, which Janelle just mentioned, are available. They're nearest Hollywood Studios. From the Skyliner, you open up the Riviera again, Caribbean Beach Resort, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. And then through boat transportation, Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Boardwalk are all accessible to Hollywood Studios. So there's a little bit longer list of resorts nearest Hollywood. Part of that is because you have Skyliner access, boat access, and then bus access for some of those resorts that are closest. And you have a good mixture there of value resorts, the one moderate, which is Caribbean Beach, and then the others that are deluxe resorts. And then last, Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom Lodge is the closest to that park, but it's still a bus ride to get there. You cannot walk from the Animal Kingdom Lodge to the Animal Kingdom Park, so keep that in mind. The other resorts that are labeled as Animal Kingdom resorts, Coronado Springs, and then the All-Star resorts, All-Star Sports, Music, and Movies. But again, those are also bus rides to Animal Kingdom. There's nothing proximity-wise close to Animal Kingdom like there are the other three parks. Anything you want me to add on that, or that you wanted to add, Janelle?
No, I mean, did you do anything on the proximity to like the springs? Like Saratoga is, did we already do that?
No. Well, I'm
Okay.
smiling because I'm thinking you're asking if I did that. That means you're not listening to me.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure.
I'm kidding. No, you're right. Saratoga Springs is the closest to Disney Springs. I actually, in May when I was there, I had an afternoon at Saratoga Springs meeting with some folks. And then, yeah, I took the walk over to Disney Springs to then catch the bus back to Art of Animation. That was quite an exercise.
The Beignets Hotel. I love, that's how we refer to Port Orleans.
And you are correct, Robbie, that both Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarters, there is boat transportation from those resorts to Disney Springs.
And I would love to add that even though it's not considered an Epcot resort, Port Orleans is a very quick ride. I mean, it's from Epcot over to those resorts. It is just not far at all. And so, I when Brooke was there, drove over, and it was about 8 minutes, to drive myself, and it's just not that far. So again, it's not a horrible bus ride by any stretch of the imagination for Epcot, you know, very close by, and very close by to the springs as well. Yes, Bonnet Creek is close to the springs. Yep.
Good night, Quentin.
Right, Quentin.
So yeah, Bonnet Springs, and there's a handful that they're good neighbor resorts. So they have a partnership with Disney, but they're technically not inside the Disney bubble, if you will. Bonnet Creek. I know Robbie is huge on Drury Inn, which is a great place. Janelle, you could name a couple of the others. I think Megan stayed at one or two of them.
Holiday Inn, the Wyndham, Best Western Plus, and then I think Robbie's also stayed at the Hilton over there too. So, there's a couple others that we're not, thinking about. So, and then Chris, we talked, night Robbie. We talked last week, which we could touch on it really quickly. Again, staying at those Good Neighbor hotels, it ranges so much in what you get, from transportation to no transportation, the Hyatt, to, theming, no theming. I know the Four Seasons, which is a Good Neighbor hotel, they're one of the only Good Neighbor hotel that has a character breakfast. And I really want to get into it. And it is so hard. They only have it on Saturday mornings. And I keep seeing TikToks that says it's one of the best character breakfasts around because the characters spend so much time with you. And it's a buffet and it's very affordable. But again, it's only on Saturdays and I haven't been able to get into it or find a time slot. So all those Good Neighbor resorts just have such a wide variety of what they offer, and on their pricing as well,
You mentioned pricing. Today for fun, I went out to a site and I just Googled hotels near Disney Springs. And then I had them sorted by least expensive to most expensive. I found one that I think the advertised price was like $29 a night. It's like, that's clearly you get what you pay for deal, right?
And again, I know we said it, I said it last week, Megan stayed at that Best Western Plus and it really was $65 a night. And she said it was fine. There was nothing. I drove her there every night, completely safe, and stuff like that. But, there was no transportation. She had to Uber, and if I wasn't picking her up, I picked her up from the hotel. Again, she would have had to have added that Uber cost or the car rental or parking and all of that. Be mindful of all of that. And when you're trying to price out, it's a safe bed to sleep in. However, all your other costs are going to add up. Megan, what hotel was that? What?
And Robbie, I think last week he commented that it's sometimes difficult to get a rental car at the Orlando International Airport. So keep that in mind, that they may be limited, which means they're probably a little higher priced. And then some of those hotels, while you may get a room for $65 a night, they charge you to park your car there as well. And so there's added fees for things like that. And I know I spun last week when we talked, because I typically have in my mind, I think about families going. And especially if you've got a 4-year-old and it's nap time and they aren't having it, having to wait for that bus longer to get back to one of those Good Neighbor hotels or wait for an Uber or whatever, sometimes paying a little extra to be, a 10-minute bus ride or Skyliner or monorail is worth it.
Megan, it's the Four Seasons is the one with the character breakfast. The Good Neighbor. It's Four Seasons. Yep. Like I said, it's the only one outside of a Disney property. And that's why it gets fed to me in my TikToks, is because, again, that character breakfast, that's a rare thing. That's a very rare thing. So I think whenever people do make TikToks about it, it goes, it hits pretty good. So
You're right, Robbie. If you stay at a property off or a resort off property, you're paying to park at the parks as well. And it's I think the standard fee is $25 a day. You can pay more if you want to park up closer. I think it might be what 40 or $50 a day if you want to park up closer, something like that.
I'll look it up, Chris. You can keep talking, Mike. But I think, again, we were talking about, just closeness, and now we're on to good neighbors. And yeah, parks parking preferred is pricey. It's like $40.
That's a tongue twister, Robbie. Say that 3 times fast. Yeah, so Janelle will look up the Four Seasons and see if she can find out who the characters are. Although my gut would tell me that the answer is going to be similar to any of the character meals on property, that they don't guarantee the characters, that sometimes they may change.
I agree. Yeah. And it might not even be listed. Oh, it says Goofy and his pals. Thank you, Dustin. So, right, when I just Googled Four Seasons Disney Character Breakfast, and it comes up under Four Seasons, and it says Disney Character Breakfast, Goofy and his pals. It's a good morning breakfast, and it's a buffet style. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Joel.
It's a buffet style breakfast.
That sounds that's my kind of gig there. Goofy.
Oh, this is
and a
all
buffet?
you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, what's better than Goofy and a buffet? Come on.
And Goofy is dressed in like his vacation, khaki shorts.
Nice.
So the breakfast is from 7 to 11 a.m. Well, it does say Thursdays, Saturdays, and select Tuesdays. So maybe I was wrong that it's only on Saturdays. Maybe when I was, fiddling through the reservations.
So, did they tell you how far out in advance you can make a reservation?
I'm telling you, I can't, let's see.
I'm just comparing that to the fact that you can only make reservations 60 days in advance on property. Yeah. So that's a question that got lobbied from Lori. Do you have to stay at the Four Seasons to be able to eat at that buffet?
Nope.
Okay.
So you can make it. I just clicked to do the reservation, and it goes straight to Open Table. And I mean, again, it's through Open Table, so is how you do the thing. So pretty far out in advance.
So that's when am I booking my next reservation? So as much as I would love to be at that resort and see Goofy and do the buffet, I'm always in the bubble. And I've already said it. I'm a huge proponent of the Skyliner. So if I were to claim a home resort for me, it would be Pop Century. I love that resort. We like to stay there frequently. It's very affordable. I think it's always clean. I like the theming. It's fun. So that's where we typically stay. But there are so many wonderful resorts across the Disney property, whether it's the value, moderate, or deluxe.
So I just tried to so all the other times I had tried to make a reservation, I was trying to do it for the Saturday morning. Hey, Scuba. And I did it for a Thursday, now that I see Thursdays is one of the dates. And there's plenty of times. Like, no one's going on a Thursday. But everybody's there on Saturday. Saturday was hard. I could not get the Saturday one. So,
Because
no.
you have to imagine there are some people staying at that resort that aren't going to Disney. They're there for other reasons, and so they get a chance to have a little slice of Disney while they're there. Hey, Tasha.
Maybe I will put it into the next round, because I do already have my next reservation set to do our live from a restaurant. And I have it set for, I think it's the 29th of September, whatever the last Friday of the month is. And I'm going to do it at the Hollywood and Vine breakfast. Is it Minnie Mouse's Halloween breakfast?
Very
I
nice.
don't think that that's exactly what it's called, but we're going to do a character breakfast at Hollywood and Vine. And that is also a buffet, I believe.
I think it is. Yes,
Hi,
absolutely.
Chris.
Hey, Chris. Tasha, you mentioned that you loved Art of Animation. We stayed there for the very first time in May. So my quick assessment, loved the theming. Man, if you have little kids in particular, the theming is outstanding there. Nice resort. Love the fact that it's on the Skyliner. It is, however, the most expensive of the value resorts. So, if you're on a budget, keep that in mind. I don't know if you've ever stayed at Pop Century. Tasha, the resorts are similar in their layout. The theming obviously is slightly different. We actually found there to be more storage in the standard rooms at Pop Century than there were at the standard rooms in the Little Mermaid section of Art of Animation. So that kind of surprised me. But yeah, love the resort. The theming was outstanding there. Yep, that's right. The Little Mermaids they're the standard lowest price. Hey Tracy, how are you? Always wonderful to see you.
Okay.
But yeah, so both those Pop and Art of Animation, they share the Skyliner hub. You walk from one side to the other. Uh, yeah, Tina, Art of Animation is the place you want to stay at, but you couldn't this trip. I had never stayed at it, and so that's why we chose to do it in May. And again, love the theming; it was incredible. But I would probably do Pop over Art simply because it's less expensive, and you have a lot of the same perks. Scuba, what would you say would be the cheapest resort for 4 night stay? So if you're looking to stay on property, the All Star Resorts, All Star Sports, Music, and Movies, those are the least expensive on average at on property in the bubble. Sometimes All Star Sports might be a little less than movies, for instance. It just depends upon time of year. But I was looking at prices just the other day for it was early December, not Christmas week or the week before, but first couple weeks of December. And I want to say All Star Sports was like 168 a night plus tax, which when you're in the Christmas season there, that I didn't think that was too bad.
That's not bad at all. I don't think. Not for that time of the year.
Yeah.
And Tasha, I'm in awe of Giant Ursula as well. It's not just Cameron.
I don't know if I was in awe. I might have been frightened. And so, Scuba, you're asked though. I'm making that statement without factoring any kind of promotions in whatsoever. When you throw promotions in, sometimes you can have different outcomes. But that week, I was looking at the promotions that are available during that stretch. The rooms are already taken up, so all that's left are rooms at standard price. But again, 168 for All Star Sports, I didn't think was too bad. First or second week of December.
Yeah.
Is All Star Movies more than the others because of the more Disney theming? Tina, my guess, and it isn't always more. I think I know it's the newest of the three, although they've been around for quite a while. I think it had renovations completed sooner than Music. Music had theirs next, and All Star Sports is still in the process of having. Did I say retheming? I mean refurbishment. Refurbishment. Sorry, not retheming. The All Star Sports is about halfway done with their refurbishment. Redoing the rooms and that sort of thing. So that's why it typically is the lower of the three. I have a soft spot for All Star Sports myself because the first time we went with Kramer, who's our oldest son, the very first time with him, we went to All Star Sports. He was 4 years old, loved football, loved baseball, loved soccer. And so it was great to go there with him, and the theming was outstanding. I mean, there's a yard-sized foosball setup with 8 foot tall foosball guys, for instance. So really fun theming there. Let's see here. Scuba says, I'm thinking ahead for a surprise getaway for me and my lady friend. Very cool. That sounds like coming from somebody who just got back from Disney.
It does. And I'm gonna say this, Scuba. It's just I'm gonna say $200 deposit, right, Mike? That's all it is.
So
Scuba. I mean, you can plan, and it's just a deposit to get started.
yeah. So Robbie just saw that someone post $87 a night at sports in January with Disney Visa. So that's one thing. And now I'm gonna piggyback on what Janelle said because she was kind of leading me that way of working with somebody who's a travel agent. If you happen to know any, sorry, I've got a twitch in my arm.
Yeah, that's why we do this. I think everybody knows by now, Mike.
I know. But there are a number of different promotions that may be available that if you were booking on your own, you might not know about. And let's be honest, this isn't a Disney thing. This is a business thing. Anybody who owns a business, if they can sell you a product at the sticker price versus a promotional price, they're going to do that, right? And so booking on your own, you may not be privy to all of the different promotions that are available to you. There are promotions that happen that you don't see commercials on TV or advertisement on social media, and you might miss out on those. So again, that's one of the values of working with somebody like myself. I used this example, I think last week or the week before, when the hurricane came through, two of them last year in a week's time, people were on hold trying to change their vacations for 6 to 8 hours. Would you want to be the person on hold, or would you want your travel agent to be on hold for you? So there are things like that. It costs you no more, zero, no more to book with a travel agent than it does to book with Disney directly. So I'm going to make up some numbers. Let's say you go on Disney's site and price a trip. We're going to say price a trip, make it simple. And it's $2,000. Doesn't matter how many nights, park days, whatever. I go book that same trip for you, it's $2,000. Disney has the commission baked into the price, whether you book directly with them or you book with an agent. You are technically paying for a travel agent services. So if you use a travel agent, you're getting that benefit. If you book directly, you're still essentially paying for the commission that Disney bakes in. You're just not getting the benefit of working with an agent. No, thank you, Mike. Take the call. That's right, Tina. And Tina, you're still here. We still have your topic to get to.
Let's go to PVC.
Well, let's finish that. So yes, Janelle is correct. If you're looking to book a package, room, it can be room only or room and tickets, $200 deposit is all you need to put down. The rest of the balance is due 30 days prior to check-in. We can work out payment plans if you want to put down $50 a week or $50 a month, or you don't want to do it all until 30 days prior. That's something that I'll work with you on and handle that for you. If you have to cancel your trip before you go, prior to 30 days, even that $200 deposit is refundable back to you. So one reason I really highly recommend booking early, two things. One, if there's a promotion that comes out and you book right away, you're going to get the promotion. I just mentioned I think there are 3 active promotions that go through Christmas. When I was looking at All Star Sports, I looked at sports, movies, music, I looked at Pop Century. None of those 4 resorts had any rooms available still for the promotions. They announce a promotion, they set aside so many rooms for it. Once those are booked, you pay the standard price. So if you see a promotion come out and you think you want to go, put the $200 down, secure the promotion. If you change your mind, can't go, cancel, you get your $200 back. But that way you at least get the promotion. Another thing, again, working with an agent, let's say Scuba, I'm going to use you as the example, and you think you want to go next November, 14 months from now. Put the $200 down, book it, work with an agent. I'm watching for promotions to come out. When a promotion comes out that you qualify for based on your arrival date or stay or whatever it is, I'm securing that for you like that. Hey, Brooke, there are some folks maybe on this call that are on live with us that I've worked with, and I've done that for them. We booked, and a month later, a promotion came out, and I got it for them, and their price went down. So there's advantages to booking early, and there's the safety net of you can cancel and get your money back.
And Dustin, I know Darren already answered, but the answer is yes. If you book with Mike and you have to cancel, you get your money back. Mike doesn't keep it. Mike doesn't get paid until you actually go on that vacation.
Yes, that's exactly right. And I'll use the scuba example. He's going to go next November. I could talk to him every week from now until then, put his $200 down, and on October 1st, he says, Mike, I'm sorry, but I can't go now. I got to cancel. I cancel the reservation. His $200 is refunded to him. I don't get paid. I don't get paid until the trip happens because Disney, wants to make sure the trip happens, right? Because if you cancel and they give you the money back and they've already paid the agent, then they're out that money. So, yeah, you get refunded if you cancel, whether you use an agent or not. Absolutely, Dustin.
Yeah.
So, Brooke, good news for you. We have not gotten to your topic yet. I held off in case you were joining us, but you have to wait for one more topic to get through before we get yours.
Right. So now on to DVC.
Yes. So, Tina, wait a minute. Jessica, are you able to utilize someone's company benefit in partnership with your agent services? Jessica, we might want to talk about that.
Scuba.
Scuba. Jessica, message me, Jessica, and we'll talk about it. Okay, so Tina asked about DVC, DVC membership, and I'm trying to go off memory, Tina. So if I say what I think you asked is not right, let me know. But you want to know about DVC membership? Is it worth it? And if we'd ever thought about it or considered it?
Yes, Robbie. There is a limit.
There's a limit on promotional rooms. Absolutely. That's what I said. When I was looking at December, so there's a Disney Plus promotion right now going through Christmas. There's just a general 25% off room rate. There's also a Disney dining promo going on right now.
That's not what he's asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I read it as how many people can stay in a room.
Oh.
Right?
How many in a room? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay because I think you could take it either way or, if you didn't see it.
Yes. Okay. So
yes,
Robbie, if your question is there a limit on how many in a room? Yes, absolutely. If you look at, we'll stick with Pop Century, for instance. Maximum is 4 people in the room. Period. 4 people. It's not 4 people plus a baby in a playpen. It's 4. There are some resort rooms, like Caribbean Beach Resort has a what's called a 5th sleeper. It has a pull-down bed that's like a twin-size bed, so you can sleep 5 there. There are suites. All Star Music has suites. Art of Animation has suites that can sleep 6. And then you get into some of the deluxe resorts that have 2 and 3 bedroom suites that can sleep like up to 12.
Yeah, I want to say, like, when I see people do TikToks, they'll say, like, oh, it sleeps up to 12, or there might even be one that's like 15, maybe at Bay Lake, but I don't know. I don't know if there's one that's, but yeah, 12 is usually the norm.
And I will caution you that even like the 3 bedroom that sleeps 12, I guarantee you that at least 4 of those 12 are fold out sofas. So keep that in mind. You're, after a long day at the park, I don't want to sleep on a fold out couch because those mattresses are horrible.
7 people in one room. Okay. No, you did not hear that from us, Robbie. And who are you having in your room, Robbie? I'm going to have a talk with you after this. Yeah.
You're in trouble, Robbie.
Yes.
And forget about anything we said about the bathrooms. That doesn't count anymore.
Slumber party, Robbie. Yeah, you're the only slumber that's going on is the slumber with your eyes.
All right. 14 is like, could you people move it along and talk about DVC now?
Scuba, yes. We say that all the time. What happens stays there, and calories don't count. All of it.
I don't know that you're allowed to say what happens there stays there. Doesn't Vegas have the rights to that?
Yeah, probably, but it's fine. It's fine. We can say whatever we want.
Disney can claim that calories don't count.
Calories don't count. Okay.
I and I don't know why, my brain goes a million different places, but I saw somebody today on a post on Facebook talk about the fact that their kids, they would go on vacations and they would hike for 8 hours. They went to Disney and their kids were exhausted. That walking Disney is nothing like they compared it. They said they've been to Dollywood and walking there all day was compared nowhere close to walking at Disney. It's just crazy how different it is.
Yeah, math, I know. Math in general just doesn't exist, right? I know. Go to a pass holder shopping event.
It's good to see that you made it home safely today after your shopping event.
I did. I did buy one thing. I did buy one thing, which I'm very proud of my practical. I bought Ainsley a pair of Crocs for 20 bucks.
Nice.
So I'm like, I called her and I was like, would you want just plain navy blue Crocs? I can't believe they have just plain Crocs here for $20. And she was like, what kind of question is that? Can you get the Crocs? And I was like, sure. And I just felt so good about it. Like it was a practical purchase, like no, and there was no Disney about it, which was weird. So, okay, Robbie's like, DVC, let's go. Okay, he doesn't want to hear about my shopping.
Yes, so I will start this by saying I've never gone and sat through their little seminar to hear their sales pitch.
Yes.
What I'm going to spout off is just what I Googled. Okay, so take that for what it's worth. And hey, Unicourse, how are you? So when you purchase DVC membership, there's a number of things to keep in mind. One, it's a 50 year term that you're purchasing. You're buying a 100 points per year as part of the membership. We'll talk about what that means here in a minute. The minimum price that for the one-time fee is a minimum of $22,000. Call it that. Hey, I see Janelle. What'd you do?
I I sent a message to Jessica.
That's crazy.
What just happened?
That's weird.
Okay, wait, don't get caught up. Let's go. Robbie needs us to keep going.
Okay, there are closing costs. It's kind of like buying a house, right? There's closing costs, and then there are annual dues as well. So I'm going to give you an example. The Riviera, which is one of the newest DVC properties, it's on the Skyliner route. It's close to Hollywood Studios, close to Epcot. It's great. Beautiful resort. I walked through it. I got to see a couple of the properties in there. For a Riviera, if you factored in the one-time fee, the closing cost, and then the monthly dues over that 50-year term, it's about $65,000 that you're paying. Okay? You cannot mortgage that over 30 years like you can a house. Disney has a payment plan. There's a 10-year payment plan. But, and again, I mean, 22,000 is not too bad, but it's the annual dues that are monthly. They call them annual dues, but you pay them monthly. You factor $70, it's almost $71 a month for the dues at Riviera, times 12 months, times 50 years. That's where you get up to $65,000. Okay, so 65 grand, set that aside. Tina's probably looking under her couch cushions right now for some loose change, I'm sure. The 100 points, what you're buying is to get 100 points per year, and you use points for your stay. Starting point for stays at your DVC property is 10 points per night. Now, that can range. If you're going to go the week of Christmas, you're not getting in there for 10 points a night. It's double that or triple that, okay? But let's say you go on the lower crowd times, the less popular times, whatever you want to call it, and you pay 10 points a night. For your $65,000, you're getting 10 night stays per year for 50 years. So that's the financial side of it and what you get as far as the room goes. That doesn't include tickets to the park or anything like that. There are some perks, kind of like being an annual pass holder. You have advantages there. So, as a DVC member, and I may not have the entire list, but I've got a decent list here. Dining and merchandise discounts up to 20%, which I think is similar to annual pass holder. There is a members lounge at Epcot that you can go in and enjoy. They do allow this. So this is I'm going to mention this, but then we got to talk about it for a second. Hey Joe, you are as a DVC member, you can pool hop to the other DVC properties. You're not allowed, technically, you're not allowed to pool hop if you're just a resort guest at All Star Sports.
Scuba, it's not stupid. Disney Vacation Club. Okay.
Yes. I was trying to think of a clever acronym that would be
Yeah.
Disney taking all my money, but I couldn't get that out of DVC. Okay. You can utilize my Disney Experience app for entry, into your room with your Magic Band or your phone or your Apple Watch. You can trade points to stay at DVC properties outside of Disney World. There are DVC properties, Vero Beach, for instance. Alani in Hawaii is DVC. They have DVC places, I think, around the world too. So you could conceivably trade points to go have a stay at one of those places. You can also roll points over. If you know that as a DVC member, I'm going to have a big family reunion in 2025 down there, I may push my 2024 points, borrow them into 2025 and use them, for instance, so I can have a bigger stay with more points. So that's something that you can do. They have a Moonlight Magic Park events that are free for DVC members. I think, wasn't there just a DVC member event at Hollywood the other night, I think?
It's called Midnight, isn't it called Midnight Magic is what they're called?
Yeah, I scribbled it down as Moonlight Magic, so maybe it is
Oh,
Midnight Magic.
no, you could be right. You
Okay,
could be right.
okay. Bay Lake Tower has a viewing area and a lounge that is available for DVC members to access. There's certain member nights at Splitsville at Disney Springs, the bowling alley there, which is kind of fun. Hey, Megan, again. And then this is where there is one advantage that ties into annual pass if you're a DVC member. So Janelle lives in Florida. Janelle has 4 different annual passes she could possibly purchase, right? There's the Pixie Pass. There's the Sorcerers. I can't think of the third one. And then there's the Incredipass. Somebody who lives outside of the state of Florida, there's one annual pass you can buy, and that is the Incredible Pass. That's it. However, if you're a DVC member, you are allowed to purchase the Sorcerer's Pass as your annual pass, even if you don't live inside of the state of Florida. So that's another advantage for your $65,000, Tina. So that's what I had scribbled down for DVC. Janelle, I don't know if you know any more or had any more thoughts or comments.
So again, it's a timeshare, and you can Google whatever you want about a timeshare to know if they're a good investment or not. There you go, Jessica. Hey, Kaden. But as far as the DVC rental goes, Tina, there are several sites out there, and I think some of them, like DVC Rental or David's, there's some top ones that are out there that I'm pretty sure you can go and just do your research on. I would definitely do research on it. I know Mike, I can remember right kind of at the beginning of our friendship, I had said something about DVC rental. It's something that I still want to do to this day, even though he would say, Janelle, you don't know what you're getting, or you don't know you've heard bad things about going to check in and things aren't, all together, right?
Well, look, I've looked at renting DVC points, and it's, Lori and I have talked about it, and it's just like, we've never done it. I've done the traditional way a million times, so I'm comfortable with that. So I'm fearful to go that way. Yes, you can stay with renting DVC points at deluxe resorts at moderate or even sometimes value price. But there are some strings tied to that. Typically, there are no refunds. So if you rent points for a stay next April and something happens that you have to cancel your trip, you're out the money. There's no refunds. There's no flexibility to change your dates like there is if you book with Disney and the Disney resorts. So there's things like that yes, it's great, but you darn well need to make sure you're going to make that trip.
Yeah, I know, Megan. I know it's something that, again, I have friended, a DVC points, buyer and seller. And I've always, kind of asked him, hey, can you look up this, especially like going to Vero Beach for like one night, and stuff like that. And I will say that every time I ask him about it, it is you have to be on top of it, and you have to book pretty far out in advance or like pretty quickly. It does fill up because, again, you're looking for people who have DVC who want to give up their week or a couple of days, and they want to sell back those points, and at least get something for what they've already put their money into. And I'm sure they're not making any money because, again, the people who are buying and selling have to make their money as well, right? So
It's like buying a used car, right?
yes, yeah,
You trade in your car, you get a certain amount, but all of a sudden they sell it for more, type of
yeah.
thing. It works that way. Now, I mentioned the fact that there's no refunds if you cancel. There's no flexibility if you have to move your dates. This next one I'll mention. It's rare, but things happen, right? None of us thought 5 years ago we'd have a pandemic, so I bring this up. You're right. You're renting points from somebody who is the DVC owner of that timeshare. Let's I don't know. Let's pretend there's Joe and Susie Smith, who are timeshare owners, DVC owners. I'm going to rent points for their place, and I rent points for next April. And in February, they get a divorce. Their DVC membership might be gone because of a divorce or a death in the family or whatever, some circumstance. It's rare. It could happen. And then you get a phone call that says, we don't have a place for you. And you're scrambling. I've seen and read a lot of stories about people who, for whatever the circumstance was, they lost their DVC rental a week before, and they were scrambling to find a place to stay.
I also, again, talking about, whether it's the right thing to do or not, but there's DVC resale out there to, you know, go buy one half off, someone that's trying to offload it, just like a used car. I mean, it's just like a used car. Go buy it another way where somebody else has already paid all the fees on it and take it for less.
And Tina, I know I'm not scroll back to find it, but you made some comment about the only way you'd be able to afford deluxe is by renting points. And I'm right there with you. This may sound silly, but be careful. You stay at a deluxe resort once, and you're going to find it hard to go back to stay at the places that you typically can afford. So, buyer beware, right? That all of a sudden your taste accelerate from Pop Century to Poly in a quick 3-night stay. I missed half of what they're talking about here. I saw something about a Disney Parks with Love resort going up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure Tim is out back building it right now.
I don't know. Tina wants a balcony. Jessica, they only need, yes. I mean,
So
they,
I think you already dropped, but we're going to have to make sure that there's a room for 7 for Robbie.
yeah, oh yes, Rafiki, right. Just stay at deluxe and don't look back, right?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. The Disney Parks with Love would be a tiny home, and the
Oh, Robbie's still here.
so again, this is going to be off topic, but when I was with Megan, I don't know if she's still in here, but when we were going to we went to Hershey Park, and on the website we kept they kept advertising this tiny home, and it's at their campground. And so I was like, Megan, let's go to the campground and let's go look at all the tiny homes. Like, how cute. And so we go to the campground and we're driving around and we cannot find this, like, we're just expecting, I don't know, all these tiny homes and, lined up. And we get there, they have one. They have one tiny home at Hershey Park. And I'm like, did they just buy one and like they were testing it maybe? But I mean, boy, they promote it. Like they promote their tiny home.
They could probably charge a lot for it if they only have one.
Oh, yeah. So it looked like they had a slab for another one, so maybe it's being built. But I was like, you know what? It is cute. I know Disney has kind of a tiny home in their like trailer cabin thing. But again, throw a tiny home out and like it'll draw people because Megan and I went driving around just for this tiny home.
Robbie, I'm guessing it had a half a bath.
Robbie, and I don't think you could get your 7 people in there.
Robbie, I'm glad that Janelle was here to tell you about bathrooms because I would have given you a much different assessment.
You know what? I really appreciate everybody sticking with us. Yeah.
But no, actually, Robbie, and I'm being very serious. Janelle her and I actually talked last night about the bathroom conversation. That's how important your topics are to us, first off. But like I told her, I coached youth baseball for 25 years, and we would be at city parks, and some of them had outhouses, and some of that had bathrooms that might have got washed once a week. You go to an NFL football game or a Major League Baseball game, and it's like Disney bathrooms, even their worst, are here. All of those other ones that I just talked about are down here. And so my bar is set so low from the experiences I've had that any of the Disney bathrooms have been amazing.
Right, right. Right. So Robbie needs to know places to make calls. I got you, Robbie. I got you on that. So I see people working all of the time at work,
Yes.
all of the time, every day.
About this there, if you're at Magic Kingdom, Robbie, you can walk over to the Contemporary Resort, and up on the second floor, there's a bunch of quiet space where you can sit and take calls if you have to do a Zoom call or whatever. That's a great place to get in the air conditioning in a nice quiet area for a call. But if it's a shorter call, like Janelle mentioned places already tonight, there are some quieter areas within the parks.
Well, I know, like Robbie likes to call in the middle of the, to call back home, and I think we all might have that situation, where you just need a quiet place to go and make a phone call. So.
Destin wants to know, travel agents have connections to book hard to get reservations like restaurants. Technically, no. I can't book your dining reservations any earlier than you could. It's 60 days prior to your arrival date. But one of the advantages, again, to using an agent is I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning so that I can be online booking your stuff while you're sleeping. And, knock on wood, but all of the clients that I've had and the dining that they've asked me to book for them, I've gotten it for them. I know that's going to bite me in the rear because I just said it, but I've been fortunate. And that's another thing, again, with the agents. If I can't get it, I'm checking daily for you. So I've been lucky. And I also have a network of agents that any one of us will communicate and say, hey, I've got a client that has a table for 4 reserved at Ohana for breakfast on this date, and they're getting ready to cancel it. Does anybody have guests there that are looking for that dining? And we'll swap those before they just cancel them.
So yeah, Brooke said bye Jessica. We had fun tonight. Brooke saying someone with a laptop. Yep, Rafiki. You take phone calls wherever, but yeah. Daily do I see people with laptops, trying to work, and sometimes that's what you have to do. So,
Look, I'd much rather take a work call at Disney than be here and take it at home.
right. Okay, so what is our next topic? Thank you, Jessica.
See you, Jessica. Always good to see you. Brooke's still here, so we probably ought to hit Brooke's topic.
Okay.
Brooke wanted to know about kid activities at the resorts. So, I scribbled down a few things, and I'm sure
Okay.
Janelle's ready to fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Obviously, swimming pools would probably be number one with most kids at the resorts. Every resort has a pool. Some of them have water slides at the moderates and deluxe. So that's something. Most all of the resorts do movies under the stars. They'll have a big inflatable screen and they'll set up chairs and they will play a Disney movie. And it's a great opportunity to hang out and I got distracted by that. Hang out and watch a Disney movie under the stars. Each day inside of the resorts, there will be a board posted, typically by the front reception desk, that has a list of the day's activities. And I think most of the resorts probably have the same activities, maybe not on the same days, but there's a variety of them, and they're pretty consistent with those. Could be painting, a whole slew of different things that they do, which are great for kids. A lot of the resorts will have campfires and do s'mores in the evenings. This isn't on resort, but you have the mini golf courses within the bubble that are fun for the kids. We mentioned Robbie mentioned beignets at French Quarters. You have, if you're at Port Orleans, either one of those two, you can hop on a boat and ride to the other one and back. They've got carriage rides at Riverside there. You've got pony rides at the Circle D Ranch over at Wilderness. And I think those are $6 or $8. They're not very expensive. However,
there's carriage rides there too.
yeah, there's carriage rides there. The one thing I would mention on the pony rides is
No.
there is a height restriction and a weight restriction. So depending on how big your child is, how old they are, and how tall and what they weigh, they may be too big for the ponies. Most all of the resorts have playgrounds for the kids to burn off some energy. Good night, Robbie.
Hi, Robbie.
No, you do not, Tina. A lot of the resorts have arcades, if that's something that your kids enjoy. You'll find penny presses at the resorts. And, we're all up for a good game of hidden Mickeys, right? So that's something you can do with your kids. And just let them enjoy the landscape at the resorts as well. I mentioned Art of Animation earlier. The theming there is incredible. I mean, you come around the corner and you see Rafiki right there, or we mentioned Ursula, or there's the whole Cars section of Art of Animation is really neat too. There's so much for the kids to be engaged with. The thing I would caution is there's not going to be a lack of things for your kids to do. There's going to be an overabundance for your kids to do, and make sure they don't get overtired because it's going to kill your vacation. So pace themselves, pace yourself.
Great. Kate says the arcade games. Yeah.
Scuba.
Yeah.
Giraffe course. That's funny.
So
Brooke, I hope Brooke's still on.
I was going to go back to the activity sheet. That, like Mike said, there's usually one up front, but then there's usually one over in the pool area somewhere where the activities are going to take place, and they are very specific and tell you where to go, and they are very, they don't change much. And like the tie-dye, Polly has the tie-dye. Most of the resorts have the tie-dye, and they're on certain days, and so but there are specific activities that are only for the resorts. And, the Wilderness Lodge has, you can make this sign, and that's specific to them. And, somebody else has the stepping stone that's, specific. So there are things that are specific to the resorts, and then you don't have to, I can go there and do any of it. So we're going to get a row of cabins at Fort Wilderness Scuba, and we'll just, like Robbie, slumber party at each one of them.
This isn't necessarily for kids, but this is just one of those hidden gems that sometimes you just run across at Pop Century out in the lobby area where the resort check-in is at. Every evening, I don't remember exactly what time it is, but Michael Jackson's Thriller plays, and all of the cast members who are behind the desk come out and they do part of the Thriller dance to the song. So they're out there for 5, 6, 7 minutes doing that dance, and it's so cool. It's so precious. It's so Disney. I'm a kid at heart.
So, and I also wanted to say too, is like when I walk by the Poly, just like Scuba said earlier, they do trivia. The lifeguards, they have like hula hoop games, bag toss. There's always some sort of games happening at the pool as well. So they do like bingo, and like I said, there's always some sort of trivia. And going back to the Kate is the Hoop-Dee-Doo. I've not ever been to Hoop-Dee-Doo. So I don't know, but I know it's still kind of hard to get into. So my answer is going to be yes, it's still worth it.
So I've never done that either. I was
That's-
fortunate enough to do the hula show at Poly before they closed that down. I'm just a sucker for all things Disney, but Disney does everything to the best, and so I would love to do Hoop-Dee-Doo at some point in time. I think that the nostalgia would make it extra special.
I agree. And I definitely try to go if Grayson's working. So that's still my goal, is to go when Grayson's playing the piano. So we'll see.
I'm still on board for finding a way to get a piano and a float for Neil to play during the parade at
I
Magic
know.
Kingdom.
Yeah. I'll have to run that by him. We have to find it. I'm telling you, they had the moving one at the Springs, and I haven't seen it in a long time. So maybe Neil can just be out on Main Street. Where and what is the Hoop-Dee-Doo review? You wanna go, Mike?
No, go ahead.
Where is at Fort Wilderness Campgrounds, and it is a show. It's eating and a show. And I think it's all you care to enjoy. I'm not sure what exactly kind of food, if it's barbecue. Yeah, is it like the one at Wilderness Lodge, Roaring Fork? It's probably food like that.
I think so.
But then there's also a stage show that happens, and like I don't know a lot about it or what the storyline is to it, but lots of music. They might be rude to you, fun. Oh, and booze is included, Kate. Yes. Oh yeah, Brooke. I introduced Brooke to Yeehaw Bob. So
I think the cool thing is you could go to Disney for 10 days, never go inside a park, and have 10 full days of activities
absolutely.
and different activities.
Yeah. So thank you, Brooke, for reminding about Yeehaw Bob. Yep. I mean, again, we don't mention Yeehaw Bob a lot, but people who stay at Port Orleans and Riverside normally do it because they just want to be near Yeehaw. So Scuba says his suitcase still packed. Come on, Scuba. Don't threaten us.
Scuba, my concern is that suitcase is probably filled with clothes that need to be laundered.
And if you don't know who Yeehaw Bob is, I mean, he is a Disney icon, and I had no idea. But you definitely check him out at Riverside if you're there. So he's a good time.
Absolutely.
So Brooke, did we cover, you know, I've done the tie-dye shirt. Tim and I did it at Fort Wilderness Lodge. I wanted to get one for Ainsley, and I was walking by, and I was like, I want to do the tie-dye, and I did it, you know. So I think that if you see it, you should, you know, and you see an activity, definitely sign up for them. They are worth it, especially the shirts. It's something, you know, I love something that you're going to get to take home too, or wear, use, you know, all the time. So I agree, Brooke. Everybody needs to see at least one time. At least one time.
And
So
there's no charge to see him, correct?
no, nope. He's at the River Roost Lounge is where he plays and where he is set up. And I think Mike did mention the scavenger hunt, yes. And he's only there like Thursday through Sunday. And definitely check his schedule because he's been a Disney employee long enough to get whatever days off he wants. So so yeah.
I know earlier we talked about the whole travel agent thing and promotions, what have you, but I will mention this one. If you have just come out of a Disney trip in like within the last week, it can't be more than a week, within the last week, or you have a trip yet this year, Disney has a bounce back offer for 2024. The reason why I say within the past week is you have up to 7 days from checkout day. So if you checked out on Saturday, you have until the next Friday, because checkout day Saturday counts. You have up until that next Friday, 7 days, to book a 2024 trip. There are some blackout periods, typically right around the holidays, but 25% off value resorts, 30% off the room rate at moderate resorts, and 35% off the room rates at deluxe resorts. It's better than any bounce back offer they offered before COVID. So,
Cuba's ready to come back. I don't think we even have to twist his arm.
but yeah, keep that in mind. There's that offer out there. I know
Come on, Brooke. And I'll just
Scuba,
say, all you just have to put a deposit down and you can get it back.
yes, Darren, they just announced that bounce back within the last handful of weeks.
Yeah.
I drive to KC in carpool. Scuba, the last time I drove to Disney from here, I was 6 years old. Pick me up too. Going to need a big vehicle. We're going to pick up a lot of people along the way, I think.
And then we'll get Robbie's room, and then you know.
Well, we better not pick up more than 6 in total because Robbie makes 7.
Right. Robbie's 7. Yes, we have to include Robbie.
Then we're at Robbie capacity.
Poor Robbie. I mean, I'm still over here just trying to figure out who are his other people.
Yeah, exactly. He's making friends that we don't know about.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I'm gonna have to check on him. What snacks can you bring, Unicorse? Oh, hi, Paul. Good morning.
Oh, holy cow! Good morning from Australia. Happy Friday to you.
Yes. Welcome in, Paul. Yeah. So, do we have any other topics?
Those are the ones that were submitted. Now, I haven't looked at Discord to see if anything else came in since early afternoon.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions that maybe we've sparked something, or you're just wondering and you've been patiently waiting for us to finish all of our topics and our shenanigans of squirrel? I mean, I've talked about Hershey Park tonight, in our Disney travel talk. So, anything could happen. But now Darren's in. Robbie's gonna have to get two rooms. So thank you, Paul.
So since we can wait for other people to ask questions. You want to talk a little bit about the last couple of days' experience at the annual pass garage sale?
Yeah, I thought about bringing all my stuff in just in case we talked about it because, well, we can talk about the one bag. I got this. I have my bag right there.
Yeah.
Still has the tags. I'm not gonna use it until January. But so if you're a pass holder, and I do think like this would it's an incentive, kind of like the DVC thing. Disney's slowly giving us some more incentives, and which I have not ever been part of the pass holder incentives, or pass holder sale like they have. So yesterday through Saturday, they're doing like a garage sale. And I know, Brooke, they're doing a garage sale. It is at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. There is a virtual queue to get into it. 8 a.m. is when you can enter that virtual queue, and you enter, and then when you have 2 hours to make it to your queue. And so in there, they are selling everything from lounge flies to lightsaber hilts to, I don't know, Mr. Toad mugs. You just don't know what you're going to find in there. It was a bit overwhelming yesterday. Today was much better for me. I kind of knew how to navigate and stuff, but there's great deals. But I will also say this. I think it is very comparable to going to the Character Warehouse. This is just on a much bigger scale.
And did you find new stuff today that was not out yesterday?
Yes. So this bag was there yesterday. Thank you, Darren. So this bag was there yesterday. Again, I went back to get a second one and they were all gone. They went quickly. Today, what was there was an Oogie Boogie Nutcracker. That was new. I mean, people were they were flying off the shelf. This is what it looked like. Oh, my light there.
There you go. That's cool.
So it was pretty big. It was $28. They had the like 50th anniversary gold license plate cover that was new today. Not too much like new, and some of the stuff that they had a lot of yesterday, a lot of it was gone, but still plenty to go. So if you're just if you're coming on vacation Friday or Saturday, there's still going to be plenty of stuff there. They have a DJ, they have snacks. I mean, it's crazy. And even on the way out for 2 days now, and I'm going to use them in my subscriber giveaways, but they have given us recyclable bags. Like they just give them to us. They gave us a 50th anniversary one, a Star Wars one, and then the little cups that were the 50th anniversary cups that you did the little sprinkle thing into the Mickey head. Like, I don't know, the cups, like I should have brought it in here, but anyways, they're giving those out too. So, Rafiki, Mike's information is either in my link in the bio or his link in his bio. And that's how you can get, hey Mike, how are you?
So two things. One, yes, for Rafiki, as she said, if you go to either her link in her link tree, there's a connection to my quote form. If you go to my profile, my email address is in there. You can email me, or the quote form is in there as well. And then it's Lala. I wanted to go back to hers. She had asked, let me scroll back and find it. Do you know when they do the Sweetheart Nights? I'm assuming February, but is it just one night or multiple nights?
Mike is coming tomorrow, so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, go pack, Mike. The Sweetheart Nights, is that here? That's only in Disneyland.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's Lala. If you're still on, they have not announced the nights for next year yet, but I can tell you the nights for Sweetheart Night at Disneyland this in 2023. They were there's one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 nights that was offered. January 31st, February 2nd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 14th, and 16th. So they do offer it multiple times, but as Janelle said, it's only at Disneyland. And Rafiki, just if you go out and find that quote form, it's Magical World Vacations is the agency. So if you see that, you'll know.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
So Janelle, you're going back one more time, aren't you, to the garage sale?
I don't know. I don't know if I am.
Because weren't you going to go with Jason?
That's a cast member.
Okay, but it's the
It's
same.
the same thing, yeah, but it's that's Sunday. So, I know I'm not gonna go live from there, but I can definitely do like a video.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, Mr. Rye Guy, if Zero will be added to the fireworks show. Isn't he already on there? On the castle?
I think he is on the projections.
Yeah, he's already on the projection.
Now, to answer that question more
Oh, that's
generically,
fine. Got it.
oh,
Oh,
Disneyland.
so yeah, I don't know.
The generic answer I would give you is I don't see Disney changing anything in this year's Halloween party since they're already halfway through the shows. So whatever they're doing now, they're going to do for the rest of these events. Any changes would be for next year.
So
And when you
going
think about
back,
it,
yeah,
we're halfway through the Halloween parties.
I know that's crazy. Um, so on Sunday is the cast member like garage sale, let's just call it. Cast member merchandise event. And so you're allowed to take guests with cast members allowed to take a guest with them. Hey Shane. And so yes, I will be going midday on Sunday. And then tomorrow, which we haven't talked about, starts the 100th anniversary. Finally. And I saw they're coming out with a popcorn bucket. I mean, we've had the merch out for since what, January, February? So, and so they're gonna have a what you call it, a popcorn bucket that they're coming out with starting tomorrow. The pass holders can pick up their Oswald magnet now as well. So I'm gonna be there tomorrow, and I guess we're just gonna see what is Disney giving us. I did see somebody else post today that where Figment meets and where Mickey meets back in whatever that pavilion is called. There's new signage that shows a picture of Mickey Mouse and a picture of Figment to show Figment, you go this way, Mickey, you go this way. And the picture of Mickey in the little circle is in his silver 100th outfit. So, and again, we're going to get Soarin' over California starting tomorrow.
How long is that going to run?
It says for a short period. There is no time frame. So we're gonna get that tomorrow, and I'm hoping we get Mickey in his 100th anniversary outfit. I'm hoping we get Pluto, Minnie, all of those characters that are at Epcot. I hope we get the 100th anniversary outfits.
And they're really confining the 100th anniversary to Epcot, correct?
To Epcot, yep.
And then just to add on at Epcot, the Food and Wine runs through November 18th. So that's still in play along with the 100th celebration. Shane, hello. Just a reminder, you're welcome to come over anytime this weekend to mow my lawn. Wanted to get that out there. It's Lala. Thank you for the info. Have either of you done Dapper Day? Sorry if that's a silly question. Not a silly question.
That's silly.
I personally have not been down there on a trip when Dapper Days were taking place. Um, I'd like to think I could rock the outfits that the Dapper Dans wear, but I honestly I don't know that I could. So it's probably best that I'm not there.
So I have not personally like dressed up or anything, but it is amazing to be in the park. It's kind of just like Halloween. It the costumes and everything, but the way people dress up, Dapper Days are so fun to be in the park. It'll blow your mind, how they will, dress up.
I just I don't care what time of year it is. It's too hot for me to dress up like that. I can't do it.
Well, and it's generally in the cooler months. If you think about, I think it's twice a year. I think it's probably going to be in the fall and in the spring.
Yeah.
But definitely it's in the spring. It's always like in March. I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
Mr. Ryguy, do you think Disney is afraid at
Oh,
all of
he
Epic
will. He would.
Universe and the new Universal theme park? I don't think Disney's afraid of anything. Honestly, I mean, if they were, they would be they would start the project of Beyond Big Thunder, for instance. They would start the Dino Land. It wouldn't still just be in theory on paper talking about it. They'd be doing it. So I don't think that they're concerned, to be honest with you. Um, maybe a SeaWorld might be concerned. Maybe a Busch Gardens might be concerned, but I don't think Disney's concerned about it, to be honest with you. And I see that you got Oogie Boogie tickets for October 19th. Congratulations, because those suckers were hard to get. Very hard to get.
So I know I would be, and now I'm like, now that we've talked about the Sweetheart Nights, I mean, that would be so awesome to go to.
I love that. Make Tim dress up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Used to be
And and
friends with
and
Goofy.
he would. Tim is such a good sport at everything. If I said we're gonna dress up, he would absolutely do it.
Have you forced him to drink that lousy drink yet?
No,
Good.
no,
Good.
no.
Leave,
So
leave that man some dignity, would you?
I know. I do. I'm gonna spare him of some things. Thank you, Emily. So
Mr. Ryguy used to be friends with Goofy, wink, wink.
wink,
Goofy's
wink.
my guy. Goofy is my guy.
So yeah.
That's you know that story. That's the one story that I get to cling to that I don't know that hardly anybody, if any of your viewers have ever gotten to see.
No. So nice, Rye guy.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah. So let's see the things we do for love. Yes. Oh, Shane. Oh, yes. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not dressing up as much as I'd love to. Now, the one thing I would do, and I suggested this to you, is if I were there next year for a Halloween party, I would love to dress up like Neil. I think that would be cool. That would be very cool. Don't ask me to sit down in front of a piano because I would tarnish Neil's name. That would be
I
bad.
feel I feel like we do better at like the Dapper Dans, like dressing up with like the Dans.
Could be.
We could play those instruments that they play.
Yeah, they're like walking xylophones.
I mean, you can tell the jokes. I can, I can like tap dance or something.
Either Dapper Dan or one of the boat skippers. Those jobs are right down my alley.
Oh, they are 100%. You would be great on any of the watercraft, talking to people, telling jokes, making sure, they're getting on the right boat and just being at Disney. Tram driver, scuba, I don't know. I'm telling you, late at night, I think those people who make it out into the parking lot that don't know where their car is, I don't know. Like, I would need to be a tram driver when everybody's getting there early in the morning and they're all happy. I would not want to be that 1 a.m. tram driver.
It's like being a flight attendant on flights to Florida. Great.
Yes.
Leaving Orlando, horrible.
Right. Same with like Vegas. I mean, again, we can compare a lot to Vegas, right? Like everybody, but man, that leaving Vegas, that's got to be rough.
Yeah. The only difference there is you typically don't have screaming children leaving Vegas
Correct.
like you do
Correct.
in Orlando. I think outfits for Dapper Day would be so cool to see. I just personally can't see myself dressing up. See, I'm with you, Lala. I think the outfits are amazing, but I just don't see myself doing it.
No, and I mean, I'm right there too. I I think you could just, again, there's some really elaborate stuff versus, just something real simple to be part of the day. But I don't know. I would think maybe being an imposter, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not me, kind of thing.
And it feels like, and I'm not a fashion person, but that those outfits aren't the kind of material that breathe real well in the heat.
Right. No, I agree.
Probably a heavier
I mean,
polyester type stuff.
y'all have seen my hair the way that it does in the day of a park day. Like the way they get their hair to just, oh, my hair would be a disaster. I could not even make it.
And I get the same problem.
Yeah, I know. You guys could wear hats.
I like to feel
So,
comfy in the parks. Yes,
yeah.
yes. I mean, Darren, you're right. I mean, obviously, if you're going there for the experience of the Dapper Day, that's one thing. But if you're going there to be a park guest, you absolutely want to be comfortable in your clothing and your shoes and the stuff that you're carrying around with you. You absolutely want to be comfortable,
Oh,
100%.
the Dapper Day people don't come to go ride rides. Like that's not what they're there for. So,
Yet they paid the same price to get into that park.
yeah. True. It's true. So,
It will
but
never happen. But I always thought it'd be great if Disney had a an admission price for somebody who didn't want to ride rides.
right. Well, so again, we said that about Knoebels, the
Yeah.
fact that it was the free admission park, and when I say that, yeah, you paid per ride, and so it was awesome to see the grandparents sitting on the benches holding the strollers, having a great time, eating their apples or whatever, and then the kids just running off and riding the rides, and they can be part of it. And it was so special to just witness that. And it is something like we were just in awe over because we hadn't ever seen that before.
Yeah, that is
So
cool. I think about that often with people who grandpa and grandma want to go, but they're not going to ride any rides, and so they
or
don't
be
really
there
want to pay.
or be there all day,
Yeah,
you know? Some people cannot go park open to park close. They just, can't do it. I know the Silver Dollar City. I know Scuba. And I don't know, but is it in any way? Is it close to? Is Branson close to Dollywood? Is it no?
Dollywood's on the eastern side of
East Side.
Tennessee.
Okay,
Silver Dollar City is sits right on the border with Arkansas, basically.
okay, okay, okay. I know, Brooke. I'm trying to get that Dollywood in there.
I mean,
So
well, Dollywood's closer to Silver Dollar City than where you are now.
right, right.
So if you want to, I mean, play it that way, sure, it's closer, but it's not like you're going to take a 4 hour car ride from Dollywood over to Silver Dollar City.
That's what I hear. I hear Dollywood, is fun and so okay, Brooke. I told Brooke, I'm like, you have to be in charge of reminding me because once I get home from my days, you know. So uh Mouse House, thank you so much. Sophia today was like, are you gonna go live? And I was like, no. I have to go talk to Mr. Mike tonight. I gotta save my voice.
Actually, so you have to save your energy to put up with me. I thought that's what you were going to say.
Thank you for the GGs. No, I was like, no, I gotta go talk. Mr. Mike's gonna keep me talking for 2 hours. I gotta save it all. Oh, Branson's 10.5 hours. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
a decent ride.
yeah. Yeah, but she wanted me to be live. I was like, nah, we gotta talk to Mr. Mike tonight.
And I'm guessing that she's not awake right now watching this.
I don't know. Yeah, probably not.
9:30 there. I forget about the time change.
She's on vacation anyways. Destin.
So Destin, if you click on my bio, I have my email address there. You can send me an email. There's also a quote form that you can fill out. Either way is perfectly fine by me to get us started. And then it can be quite a bit of back and forth. It can be pretty quick and painless. It's somewhat dependent upon what you want. For instance, I've had people reach out to me that say, it's 2 adults, we want to go for 7 nights, and we want to go in the summer. And that's all they give me. And so it's back and forth of narrowing down when those 7 nights are, which type of resort do they want to stay at, how many park days do they want. And so it goes back and forth. And then once we roll into 2024, Disney opens up dining plans. So there's that added on to providing quotes for that. So it can be a lot of communication back and forth. It can be pretty quick. I've had people that said, I want to go this date to this date. I want to stay at this resort. I want this many park days. I don't want park hopper. Go. And it's pretty quick to say, here's the price. And then we go from there. Hopefully, Destin, Janelle and Unicourse and Brooke and some of the other people will tell you that I'm pretty easygoing and pretty easy to get along with and pretty decent guy to work with.
Hopefully we would say that. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, Destin.
Oh man.
Right. Yeah, and Dustin, if you forget all about Mike, just message me. I'm just saying I can direct you to him as well.
Yeah.
If the live ends and you're like, what was his name? Just come to me and I'll get you there.
That's Janelle's way of saying I'm pretty forgettable.
I am not, but we all have lives and we all have other things going on, and we all know that you might not get off this live and go over directly to there, and so yeah.
We're having fun. But if you forget, just ask Janelle, who's that goofy guy that you talk to? She'll know exactly who you're talking about. That's all you got to say. She'll know.
So yeah. All right. So I think are we done for tonight?
I think we covered everything.
Okay. You wanna
If
you can end. I was gonna say you go. Tell them how to get to everywhere.
I wasn't even going to do that first. I was going to say, if this is your first time joining us, we typically do this every Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, where I'm at. On occasion, we might shift a day if something happens and something's going on. We have lives, but we try to do this consistently every Thursday evening on Janelle's Discord, which in her bio, there is a link to her Discord. If you're not a member, you can join. We have a page there for Janelle and Mike Travel Talk. And we encourage people to provide their suggestions, and that's how we came up with this week's agenda of things to talk about. So we'd love to have you join us every week. As you can tell, we have some fun, we giggle and laugh. We entertain questions that people bring on these calls as well. And so this is a way to help all of us navigate Disney and your trips and that sort of thing. As we shared earlier, in my bio or in Janelle's bio, there's a link to a quote form. In my bio is my email address as well if you want to email me directly. Love to work with you. As I said earlier, whether it's me or another travel agent, you don't pay any different. The amount you pay for your Disney trip is the same whether you book it directly with them or you book with a travel agent. They've baked in the commission. So if you book directly, look, I did that forever for myself, and I still do, obviously. You're essentially paying for services that you're not getting. So just keep that in mind. Love to work with you though.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lala.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Don't leave. I'll be forced to watch TV. What did we talk about again?
You see what Shane said?
Yes. Oh, Shane, we talked about you mowing my lawn. No, so this week's topics we covered bathrooms at the parks, which ones are the nicer, bigger, cleaner, less populated restrooms. We talked about the different resorts closest to each one of the parks. We talked briefly about rare characters at the parks. We talked about DVC membership and what that means. We talked about kid activities. You all talked about Janelle building a resort and having
Slumber parties.
slumber parties and crazy things. And then we answered questions that were asked. So, no, I don't. Well, obviously I did, Shane, and I knew you were playing, but it never hurts to do that.
Yeah.
Disney Parks with Love Fort Wilderness 2024. Be there or be square.
Room for 7. That's right.
Room for 7. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah, Shane, maybe you weren't here when Robbie was trying to put together a slumber party.
Yeah.
So
I would love to work with you on booking your trips. I don't do slumber parties. I have to draw a line somewhere. There's got to be some professionalism in there.
yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
everybody.
Last shout out. Any last questions?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
this is
we'll
it.
call it a night. Like I said,
Yeah.
we do this usually every Thursday, and it's usually about 2 hours long.
And Mike could talk longer, but we have to cut him off at some point. Is that 7 with or 7 including? Yeah, we have to include Robbie.
Yeah. 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 Don't tell him, but Robbie's paying for it, so we have to include him.
He's coming in November, so we'll get him the bounce. Well, he can't do bounce back. He's staying at Drury. I'm like, oh, we'll get him to do bounce back.
And I think we talked about that. The Good Neighbor hotels are good in some areas, but they don't have the Disney promos.
Sounds
All
good.
right. I think that's it, gang. I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We have fun. Janelle tolerates me, and we talk about a lot of great stuff.
We do. And you're easy to tolerate. So, bye, guys. We will see everybody later. Come join us on Discord and have fun with us over there as well. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you for all the gifts, and you guys rocked it with the likes tonight. Thank you for getting other people to come in and hang out with us. But
And are you going live from Epcot tomorrow?
yes, probably more. I'll do YouTube in the morning, and then we'll do TikTok later in the day. But I will post the schedule on Discord.
All right, very good. I have my I shouldn't even say the number. I have my high school reunion this weekend. Maybe it's just safer to put it that way. So I'll be tied up in some of that stuff.
Have fun.
Yes.
How many baby pictures do you have to show?
Of me? None. I have none.
No, of Briggs.
Oh, Briggs. So what I shared with you was put on Facebook already. So
Okay.
it was safe.
I'm just saying,
Oh, tomorrow night?
Yeah.
You better believe I'll be showing pictures to people. Absolutely.
All right.
Briggs is great,
Bye.
Steva. Thanks. 6 weeks old this week already.
That's crazy.
It is. All right. Let's get out of here. Good night,
All right.
everybody. Brooke, good night.
Bye.
Unicorns. See you, Janelle.
Bye.